Hey guys, it's Miss Day. So sorry I couldn't be there today, but I was going to read you chapter 8 of The Whipping Boy if you would like to follow along with me. If not, you're more than welcome to read independently, and then you're going to complete the Nearpod that I posted in Google Classroom for you. Okay, so you are going to review chapter 7 and write a summary of that, and then we're going to read chapter 8 and you're going to make a flow chart of the events that happen. So I want you to pay attention as I read, or if you're reading independently, so that you can complete that activity without me here today. So we're on page 22 of The Whipping Boy, chapter 8, The Ransom Note. So when we read chapter 7 on Thursday, we know that Cutwater and Billy believe that Jimmy is the actual prince and that Prince Brat is the whipping boy. And so we're moving into chapter 8 where he's actually going to write the note to the king. So let's go ahead and get started. Page 22. Hold-your-nose Billy tilted the princely crown on his head. What have you writ down so far? Jimmy glanced up from the sheet of paper. To the king's most sacred majesty, dear Papa. Hey, that sounds proper respectful. What else? Our captors are loyal subject, but scoundrels by trade. Don't cross them. Make that a mite stronger, said the outlaw, beginning to pace. So it's like he's getting nervous. Tell him we're shameful mean, and rough as a sackful of nails. Warn him we fear no gallows. So he's saying, like, we're not afraid of dying. We're not afraid of you killing us because we're that bad. Jimmy dipped the quill in beet juice and continued scribbling. I'll tell him you've got reserved seats in you know what. Hey, that's the ticket. Cutwater had begun gnawing away at a roasted pheasant, and his cheeks swelled out as if he had a monstrous toothache. What about the king's soldiers, Billy? Now the fog's lifted, they'll be following the lad like a trail of ants. Puts my spine a shiver. So Cutwater's nervous because he feels like now that the fog is gone, that the knights are going to come look for Prince Brat, and they're going to end up finding him, and they'll get caught. Faugh, exclaimed Hold-your-nose Billy. Even rabbits get muxed up and lost in the forest. We're well hid, Cutwater. I'll warn Papa, Jimmy offered generously, that if you spy out a single uniform, you'll crack my neck like a chicken's. Prince Brat sat sullenly on a pile of moldy bedstraw. He glared icily at the whipping boy, who had seized his royal title. So he's sitting over there just like staring and just really mad at Jimmy for pretending to be him. And don't forget the reward, Billy, said Cutwater. We want the prince's weight in gold bangers, right? Tell the king that, directed Hold-your-nose Billy, in big letters. Now let me reckon out a safe spot to deliver the loot. Jimmy dipped the quill, but then paused. Gaw, he thought. It's not enough to choose my words. As if I were the prince. Show some high and mighty, Jimmy. Think like a prince. Dimwits, he flared up. Catch penny rogues. I will not be exchanged for such a trifle. My mere weight? A paltry treasure you could carry on your shoulder? How dare you insult me? Hold-your-nose Billy's red eyebrows shot up in the bewildered surprise. Insult you? A trifle? The prince is worth a prince's ransom. The eyebrows lowered as quickly as they had risen. No offense meant, lad. How would you calculate a proper ransom? A wagon load of gold at the very least, and jewels mixed in. As I'm alive, a wagon load? Cutwater gulped down the wad of fowl in his mouth. We did forget about jewels, Billy. A wagon load it is, then, exclaimed the hairy outlaw. Prince Brat's mouth fell open wide at the whipping boy's nervy mischief. Hold-your-nose Billy stood over Jimmy's shoulder and watched the words being scratched out. Finally, he said, have you made your sign yet? About to, replied Jimmy. With as much flourish as he could manage, he wrote, Your obedient son, Prince Horace. And that's the end of chapter 8. And he signed it, Your Obedient Son. Now I want you to think, is Prince Brat really obedient? Does he really listen to his dad? I don't think so. So I want you to take a look at page 24 where you see this picture. This is really important where Jimmy is writing the letter. You can see the beet juice. So I want you to take a look at this picture because it will help you understand the chapter a little bit better. Okay, so I will see you guys tomorrow. Y'all read it again if you need to as you're working on your Nearpod. But we'll review tomorrow. So see you later. Bye.